All right, lead heads, welcome back to the Talking Lead podcast. This is episode 221, Dos Uno. We are trucking right along with our episodes, and we have you lead heads to thank for that. So thanks for all the downloads and subscriptions that we're getting from iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher. There's probably a bazillion other podcasting stations out there that I don't even know that we're on. But going to our website, our YouTube channel, you guys can find us everywhere. We're everywhere. So if you didn't listen to last week's episode, you missed a monumental show. It was episode 220, and we had the group from CMP, Charlie Mike Precision, and we had Charlie Melton, we had Philip, and we had Brad Stair, and those guys just made the world's longest rifle shot. They're not calling it a sniper shot because there wasn't a person at the end of that shot. They didn't kill anybody, but they did hit target. And it was over 5,000 yards that they did. 2.86 miles. Record shot. So we interview those guys, and they talk about that world record that they broke. And then we also continued our interviews from the Big Three East with the guys from Maximum Defense, Troy Industries, and we also had a couple of the warriors from the Benghazi incident. If you guys have seen the movie 13 Hours, we had Chris Tonto Paranto, and we had Dave Boone Bitten. Great interview with those guys. We're going to get them back on the show in a future episode and talk more about them and a little more personal interview with those guys. So check out that episode. Another great episode coming up for you guys this week, and we're going to continue our interviews from the Big Three East. We've got several more of those, so that'll be in the next couple of episodes. You guys can look forward to that. Palmetto State Armory, Medieval Industries, Gearhead Works, SGM Tactical, WMD Weapons, all kinds of great interviews coming up. And we're going to be continuing those in this episode. But first, we've been talking about long range lately. And I want to talk about targets, some ideal targets for long range. So makes sense that we would have none other than X Steel Targets join us today.
X Steel Targets.
We've got Bud, Lori, and they've brought a friend with them, Troy. And we're going to be talking about ideal targets for shooting 500 yards plus. So welcome in, guys.
Ready?
Bud, Lori, Troy.
Hello. Can you hear us?
We can hear you. So they're all sharing a microphone. So they're going to take turns, I guess, when each one of them wants to speak. But I wish you guys could see the background. They're in their trophy room, and that is a awesome trophy room there. We'll talk about that a little bit also as we get into the interview. And then helping me co-host this week, we've got another one of our lead heads and sponsors of the show from Frontier Tactical, Nate Love, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for having me back, sir.
Well, it's glad to have you back, man. It's been a minute. We missed you down at Big Three. You were down there. You kind of showed up for one of the days. Caught a little rain, so it cut us short. But we didn't have an opportunity to get you on, so I wanted to have you on. And then Nate and I are working on some projects for the future that you lead heads are going to be very excited about. Can't talk about them yet, but we'll talk about those soon. So, X Steel Targets, you guys, I can't say enough good things about your targets. My lead heads hear me say it every week. The best, most affordable AR-500 steel targets on the market. And, I don't say stuff unless I absolutely believed it. Casey Griggs, our 3-gunner, kind of introduced me to you guys. And he's got a lot of your products, and we go down to his land down there, and we're, always tinging away on those targets. Have you guys got some new stuff in the works?
We sure do. We got some ground flashers coming out, and they'll be in 6, 8, and 12 inch. And how they're set up is there'll be a gong close to the ground, and it's good for long range because it'll indicate your hit with a flasher. It'll kind of pivot up and flash you. And then we have
whoa, back up! I got how's that work again?
It's on a base, and it sits low to the ground.
Okay.
And it'll have like a 12-inch gong. It's reversed from, if it was swinging off a frame.
Uh-huh.
So it's balanced on the bottom to where when you shoot the target, when you impact the target, it rotates up and it's got a flasher, that
like a mirror or something?
I'm sorry?
Like a mirror, or what are you talking about, a flasher?
No, it'd be just a painted orange piece of steel or cardboard.
Okay.
Just enough that it'll rock up from a protected plate in the front where you don't shoot the bottom, and it'll flash you. So you'll be able to see that at a pretty good distance.
Okay.
You know, that's a big thing. A lot of people are going with a lot lighter rounds. You know, they're dropping down to 105 grain, 6mm dashers, and you know it's hard to indicate hits. And hopefully this will improve that.
And what size is that target?
I'll make them 8, 10, and 12.
8, 10, and 12 inches. So probably good out to what?
1,000, 12 to 1,000.
12 to 1,000. Okay.
1,000.
Now these guys were using for this world record shot. They were using a 420 grain bullet.
Yeah, that's a train.
That is a big bullet. And I think they said the target that they were shooting is a 40-inch target.
Yep, it was.
About a 40-inch target. And they didn't have an AR-500 steel target. I think they just found some scrap metal or something that they had. But how much would a 40-inch AR-500 steel target weigh?
Microsoft ticket would be. I'd have to punch it out on my phone there. 40-inch, probably about if it's 3/8 or 5/16, it'd be somewhere in the ballpark of 120 pounds.
Oh, that's not too bad. That's not as heavy as I was thinking it was going to be.
No, and because we've hung some. I have some AR-400 that we attempted to hang at 500 and shoot them with 22s.
Yeah.
I think that was 100, right at 120 pounds. We weighed it because it was pretty impressive for the stand.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, you're gonna have to you're either gonna have to do one of those hanging, where you do the hang ears, or that's probably the best way to do it, is do a hanging.
Well, I make some braces that all you use is 1-inch conduit, and that 1-inch conduit held it up.
Oh, nice.
I actually have 3 of them throughout South Dakota and Minnesota that are 42-inch gongs hung up by his conduit stands.
Oh,
and
nice.
They're not light. Yeah, you roll them around. You don't carry them.
So those would definitely be probably on our list for shooting 500 yards plus, over 1,000 yards. Getting
they're like a 1 mile target. Yeah, 1,000 yards. You don't need anything that big.
Well, yeah, but it's still nice to hit and hear that gong. There's nothing more satisfying than hearing, the ting of hitting that steel. That's what I love. I love that. So what else you got? You got the flasher. Is that what you call them? Flasher targets?
Right. It'd be a flasher. And then I have, we just came out with some Know Your Limits. I don't have them on the website yet. And they range from, they're, instead of having a strap on them, they're solid steel to the gong. But you have them on a cross brace, and I got them from 3 to 10 inch. So, you put them out there at about 500, 600 yards, and you shoot across there until you miss, and then you start over and shoot again.
Okay. How many are you putting on a string for that?
Anywhere from 4 to 5.
4 to 5. Okay.
Yeah, start at 3-inch, 4-inch, 5-inch, 6, 8, and 10.
And those would be like swinging gongs?
Yep, those swinging gongs. And what's nice about them, instead of hanging on straps or chains, they'll swing completely around. On a good impact. Yep.
What are they on?
I'm sorry?
Are they just on like arms that
Yeah, they're on arms. They're solid arms. It's all one piece. The solid arm coming off the
1-inch round stock.
1-inch round stock for the cross brace, and then it's solid all the way to the target, and the target's hooked to the upright.
I can't tell you how many chains that we break when Casey and I go shooting. We're constantly killing those chains.
Even during competitions, they're always running down there changing out chains and belts. I know the last one Troy and I shot, that was the biggest holdup,
Yep.
They were going down there having to swap out.
Yeah, so I like the idea of that arm. That's going to hold up a lot better.
I have a love-hate relationship with that target. I hate shooting them in matches because they give you 0 feedback on if you hit the right side or the left side. So I just bought myself one because you have to have it. It makes you a way better shooter when you have to learn to spot the splash or the poof on the target.
The sweet spot?
Because it doesn't swing right or left at all. You can't tell if the wind's getting you a little off to the right, and if it's you lose all your points if it's know your limit point, rack.
Right. But it still gives you that ting if you hit it.
Oh yeah.
Left or right. So.
But then like what do you?
But for competition, yeah.
Yep. When you start off on 8-inch and you hit it and you swing it, and then you got to drop to the 6 and you hit it and swing it or move it. Well, you can't really. It don't help you to get your dope right by the time you get to the 3-inch.
Yeah.
To correct in whatever direction you might be hitting your target on. because in a competition, most of the time, by the time you get there, everything's shiny. You know, they've got the paint all shot off it.
Yeah. Well, they're supposed to go repaint those.
Yeah.
For each shooter, you know, that's fair play, right?
Well, yeah, but they can't run back and forth, you know, from 6 to 1,000 yards.
What kind of jackleg competitions are you guys going to? Well, very cool. That's exciting. That sounds exciting. I like the sound of that one also. That one definitely will be a hit. So you're already using that in competitions.
I will this next year. M&M's going to buy some, and they have a competition towards the end of the year, and it's a fun competition.
Do they give away tasty treats at that?
I'm sorry.
I said, do they give away tasty treats at that? You said M&M.
Yeah.
Different M&M, right?
Yeah, different M&M.
They had like 70 pounds of smoked brisket this last time out there, so.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a fun shoot.
And where's that at?
It's at Rapid City, South Dakota.
Rapid City, South Dakota. Okay.
Yep.
Very nice.
You know, and then coming out of here where we got trees and cornfields and no wind, and then going out there having to shoot, it's
different, right? Yeah, no doubt.
Get spanked easy.
So what else you got on the horizon?
Well, then we have a bunch of 22 targets coming up for all the National Rifle League.
Uh-huh.
You know, that's going to be a big thing this next coming year because every little club can compete against anybody throughout the nation.
So what kind of targets are those going to be?
It's just going to be similar to one setup will be similar to that Know Your Limits, except for it starts from a 1/4 inch and goes to 6 inch. I think 6 inches is the largest target. And then a bunch. Then they'll have like little gongs that'll hang on something similar to shepherd's hooks.
Okay, I got you.
6.
And all these are going to be available on your website for the lead heads to go and
They sure will. We're
put in
matter
their
of fact,
Christmas
Troy's drawing
stockings.
on now.
Nice, because we got Christmas coming up, so these can make some nice gifts for people.
Yeah.
Get your orders in now, because you guys are going to get swamped over the
Yeah, I hope
holidays.
so. Yeah, we did like last year. You know, we were filling 2 mail trucks a day.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So these lead heads, they got to get a jump on it. It's coming up. We're already end of October. Holy cow! It's not mid, it's end.
Then we do have which it's a little bit bigger than a full size IPSA, but it's something similar to a dueling tree. It has the knockout in the head on the IPSA, and then it has 4 3-inch targets down through the center part of the body, and then in the pelvic, it's got 2.5 inch on either side, on both sides. So we custom made them for the Minneapolis Police Department. They wanted them, and then St. Paul bought them, and then we've sold several at shows and stuff like that. So we don't have them on our website quite yet, but they're coming.
Yeah. And what do you call those?
LSZ target.
LSZ target. I call it Iron Maiden.
There you go. See, Laura, you got to come up with something that sticks to the meat, you know. I like that. Iron Maiden.
Yeah, and it is Iron Maiden. It's heavy. It's nothing chunk on your shoulders.
Heavy.
I make her carry it in on the shows.
Yeah, he does.
That's your workout, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, very good. And is there anything else you got coming out that we can look forward to for the holiday?
No, but what we'll be having is once we get our laser table, once we get the blessing from the city, and then it's going to be a month and a half away, and before we can move into the building and start getting our stuff set up in there, we'll have our own laser table. So from there, we'll be able to open our catalog pretty wide.
Very good. So a laser table, what's that going to enable you to do that you're not currently doing?
It'll allow us to see. Right now, I got to depend on somebody else and then go through all the hoops to get parts cut.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's still pretty good. I mean, because it's all still family, but it still takes time, and
still waiting on somebody else.
Right.
Yeah.
It's got to go through the channels.
Well, good. So how soon's that going to come?
I hope.
First of the year, probably.
Yeah.
I kind of like to get into it quicker because it gets colder than a well digger's ass around here. When you start hauling that stuff in there in December, the city people ought to get up there and help me tote it in there.
It still gets cold, don't it?
It gets cold.
Nathan, don't be a knot on a log over there, son.
I just don't want to interrupt.
Well, that's what you're here to do.
That's what you're here to do.
That's what co-hosts
moderate you.
That's what co-hosts do. So we want to talk long range. We've been talking long range, like I said, for a couple of shows now. And I want to get into, targets at long range. And you're talking about you got two new target, or that one target, the flash target, and you said it goes up to 12 inches.
Yes.
12 inches at 1,000 is tiny.
That's still that's an MOA. That's still over an MOA.
Yeah. But when you're trying to dial stuff in and get it in, you want something a little bigger, something a little more meat on it.
Yeah.
I'm talking, personally here. Although I was hitting a 6-inch plate at 500 with the 308 consistently when I went shooting with Casey this weekend. We went to a place called Eagle Eye Shooting Complex, I think is what it's called. And they've got targets out up to 500. And we were just nailing it consistently. But I want to go out further than that. So I'm stretching my legs. And we were at Big 3. They had up to 900, and we were out pinging those. And those were they had some larger silhouette targets that we were pinging on that.
Well, I don't know if you notice with your shooting some longer distances like that, you have a hard time seeing if you hit the target or not. Have you noticed that much, or?
Well, at the 900 when we were hitting it, no, I didn't have a problem seeing it at all.
Okay.
No, I was using a 5x25 from Right On USA.
Yep.
And you could see the splash, no problem.
Excellent. Yep. And sometimes when the mirage starts to get a little harder, or there's no paint left on the target, it makes it a little more difficult. What I've started to buy for more of my targets are the 1/4-inch AR-500 for the long, because then you start to get a little bit more feedback as far as the impact of the target.
The sound, so the thickness will help with the.
Sound is actually a nicer sound as well. But more, when we shoot with other guys or shoot at matches, you might follow the trace in. You might look for the splash on the target. You might look for the splash on the ground. Well, you can actually still see target movement if you have a 16-inch target that's, let's say, a 1/4 inch. You can still see movement, at 600 or 900 yards. Yeah. Where with the Mirage, you can't see the splash as much, and you can't follow the trace sometimes. Yeah. So I started buying more of those 1/4-inch targets, and
so you can hear it. You're getting an audible.
Durable. Yeah, but they're very durable too. Because one of my long-range guns would be I have a 28 Nosler that's throwing a 197 grain bullet at 3,200 feet per second. That guy's got some oomph to it. Yeah. And I had a little 1/4-inch target at 600 yards, and it didn't do anything to it. That was kind of like a torture test, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too is when you're shooting the long ranges, you want something that's going to be durable also. But you want something flexible enough to where you can shoot it closer range and then move it on out to longer range.
Yep.
But that's something else too is the sound, because like you said, sometimes you can't see the splash, and the Mirage that we were getting at that range that we were shooting at this weekend was pretty bad. I mean, it was like a microwave. They had a microwave oven going down there or something, and but we could hear it. So that helped.
Yep.
Start as far as size of targets. We're busting that coyote size target at 1250 at Dakota Classic, wouldn't we? So that's not that big a target.
Yeah. As you start getting more proficient with your long range shooting, so I'm just kind of starting off as a novice perspective. So as a novice, from my perspective, I would think I would want to start off with something a little larger and then work my way down to, obviously something smaller. But a lot of times I go out and shoot by myself, so I want to be able to know, kind of where I'm at quicker than, if I've got one of your targets, an X-Steel targets, and I can hear it. I know I hit the target. So then, I know to go look and see where I hit the target. Because when you're shooting from the scope, you don't always, see it, because like you said, you got heat mirages, and, sometimes you come off scope and you lose, sight of where the bullet went, and then you got to get back on target and see where it hit. But if you hear, you're like, I know I hit it. Boom. Then you can start, making your adjustments, your dope, and all that. That's my way of thinking. And Nate will tell you, I don't really think logically a lot of times.
I think that's what all of our wives tell us anyway.
Yeah.
And as far as the shooting steel, it's nothing like shooting paper. Once you shoot that steel, you're addicted to it. Oh, but you can see your hits. I've only got 700 yards here, which I'm getting ready to build something. Which right now I've got some pallet racking where I can climb on top of that and get to 800.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to talk. That's going to lead us into our Jackwagon train here in a minute. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'll tell you, I got tired of printing out targets and remembering if I had enough paper targets. And I always know I got a couple plates in the back of the truck, so I can always go hang them and shoot them all day and not have to run out there and change paper.
Right, and you can see your impacts even. You know, I mean, with a fresh painted target, you can see your impacts after the hits, so you know how tight you're grouping.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd rather carry around cans of paint than reams of paper.
Yeah, and make sure you carry it. Don't leave it down there by the target because it'll blow it up. The shrapnel will cause it to spray while you're sitting back here popping at it.
That was probably accidental.
You were talking earlier about having flexibility with targets. One of the targets is that it's an easy set target is what it's called, and that's like a mini IPSC. It's maybe 12 inches by
20 probably, somewhere in there.
And it's got 3 different angles on it. So you can angle it down, and I've shot it with my pistol, up close range, 10 yards even. You have it angled so all the bullets go straight down. You also set it totally vertical, and it's got little handles. It's easy to carry way out there. I've shot it at 1,000 yards too.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite targets, because that one target does everything from close range pistol to long range rifle.
Right, and that's what as a beginner, as a novice getting into the shooting, accuracy, precision, long range. You kind of want something because you don't have a lot of money, or maybe you do. I mean, we got listeners that probably could, buy whatever the hell they wanted. But I'm a frugal kind of guy, so I don't want to have to go out and spend any more money than absolutely is necessary. So versatility with targets, and that's what you get with the AR-500 steel targets. Also, is you get a lot of versatility with those, so you can do short range, mid range, long range with those.
Yeah. The easy set target's a little bit more expensive than, let's say, a 12-inch gong, but it comes with a stand automatically. Yeah. And that's, if you're just putting up gongs out on property that you own, it's really nice to be able to have something you can just carry out and just throw up anywhere.
Oh, absolutely. I'm telling you, one of the most frustrating things that gets me is going and setting up targets is, I'll forget a stand, or I don't have, one that'll fit this target, just right. So that's another great thing that you guys offer is, you've got stands for a lot of your targets.
And that particular target that Troy was just talking about, the base is even made out of AR-500 to where the frags don't eat it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Because those wood only last a little bit, they won't last forever. And then you're having to replace that wood constantly. Right.
We started making body armor too.
What?
And yeah, I bought some, which we really haven't got into marketing yet. I've got the bed liner equipment and everything to spray it with, and we sprayed a 2x4, and it held up real well with that bed liner.
Yeah, yeah.
On a 2x4 post for a target, yeah, it held up real well.
Oh, nice. But your body armor's not made of wood.
No.
You're not using 2x4s with bed liner on for your body armor, right?
Well, you're way better. No.
Yeah.
Hey, Marty, I wanted to add something too about the targets.
Yeah.
So one of the first steel targets I ever shot at was at 100 yards, and I'm shooting 6.5 Grendel, and I'm putting it right between the eyes of this E-type silhouette. And we get done shooting. I've done all my zeroing for that range. I'm going to move out to the next distance. We go over there to pick up the target, and it wasn't my target. It was one of the range targets. And this target's only 12 inches by 18 inches. I had no idea at that range because I'd never really dealt with steel targets at that point. But you really don't need a giant, 36 by 36 inch gong out there.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not shooting at distance. So the weight that you're actually needing to accomplish what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
That's why, when Bud's talking about the 6-inch targets and 8-inch targets, that's really all you need to get the feedback that you need and to
and I've been waiting for one of you guys to jump on this and say, if you sight your rifle in, use your paper target, sight your rifle in at, 100, 200, whatever. Then as you're going out to distance, then you're not going to need that big target like I've been saying that I need at, 1,000 or, whatever. So I've been waiting for one of you guys to jump on that, but nobody's
hey, need a giant military bore sight panel out.
Nobody's like, hey, dumbass, sight your rifle in before you go out that long, and then. But yeah,
we didn't beat you up too bad.
Well, I like to play, devil's advocate. So that's what I'm here for, devil's advocate. So you guys, can jump on me, make fun of me. That's what I'm here for. But
how I got started in these steel targets was I had a piece of plate. It was 1.25 inches thick by about 2 foot wide by 4 foot tall. and I welded a chain on the back side of it and chained it to the top side to the tree where it just kind of hinged, rock back and forth. Well, I thought that'd be a real good target for my 50 cal and 338. Well, I got to smoking it with my 50 cal and 338. I got down there, went and checked on the target, and it looked like on that 1.25 inches, it looked like you took a hot rod, and it was just mild steel, and started from the front and shoved it in, and it boiled that steel out out the front and boiled it out the back, blowed a hole smooth through it. That 18 by 24, I got hanging at 200 yards, to zero at. And whenever somebody comes over and wants to shoot the 50, I just, I keep them at 200 yards because I'd hate to turn that big bullet loose, go across the county. So, and they slap that pretty good at 200 yards, and it dents it a little bit, but it don't go through it.
Yeah,
it makes it dance.
Well, very good. So the point that I was trying to get around was that you don't need these big, huge steel targets at distance. You can get away with and be perfectly fine and accurate with the 12-inch,
Yep.
You said you shoot that up to 1,000, right? You're hitting that one, up to 1,000. But yeah, I mean, you can make as big as somebody's willing to reach into their pockets for. Right?
We make full-size deer.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we talk about that. You make harvest targets.
Yeah.
What other animals do you guys do silhouettes of?
We made a buffalo before.
A buffalo, holy cow! How much did that weigh?
I forget what we shipped it, and I forget what it weighed. And I've got a full-size moose in my front yard and a elk in my front yard. Yeah, full-size moose stands on its own. The elk you got to prop up. But
I think you should do, for every animal you've got on your wall there, you should do a silhouette for that. And you've got, I don't know, dozens and dozens of different animals over there.
Hopefully I can put another one on next week. Or it won't go on the wall, but I'll kill a nice whitetail up there in Saskatchewan.
Oh, nice. I see a bear. I see a leopard. What's that to the right of the leopard there, in between the leopard and the boar?
That's a jackalope.
No, that's a big snake skin.
That's a snake skin. Okay, I thought. I was like, no, that's too long to be anything. What kind of snake was that? Holy cow, that's like 7 feet long.
No, it's longer than that. It's about 14.
It's okay. I can't see the whole thing. I just see.
The door, yeah.
Man.
But, I was working over in North Africa in Algeria, and that's a horrible place. But anyways, every time we'd set a record, they'd give us a case of beer, and I don't drink. So I'd go to they had a hay wagon full of beer, cases of beer, and I'd go over and I'd grab a case, and I'd grab 2 cases. And that little Algerian said, 2 cases, 2 cases. I said, yeah, my brother needs a case. He's drunk here in the room. He said, brother. So I got 2 cases of beer and dragging that little Algerian back to my room. Finally, he turns loose, and I get that one time.
He was fighting you for it, huh?
Yeah. I had 50 cases of beer in there, and that's what I'd trade for, stuff like that right there. And those, they make real neat sand rose pottery and stuff like that.
Yeah. So you're using it as currency, basically. You're just.
Oh yeah, it's good trading stuff.
Good trade bait. Nice. What kind of beer do they like over there?
They drink at St. Paulie's.
Oh, they like St. Paulie's, huh?
Yeah.
That's weird. In Nigeria.
Algeria. Yeah, and then we were in the Sahara Desert. We built that pipeline from Libya to Morocco.
I bet you got some good stories about that.
Oh, well, I just had a guy tell me, we're having some guns shipped in from him. He says, here in Phoenix, we like to shoot indoors. It's when it gets up to about 120, I said, man, I tell you what, there'd been days I wish it was only 120.
It was only 120.
Yeah, that's here it is. It's hot.
We'll get into that in another show. I'd like to hear some of those stories. That'll be a good thing to do. But I hear that Jackwagon train rolling in. So, Gunny, bring it on in, and let's throw some people on the train.
Hoorah, Semper Fi, do or die, hold 'em high at 8th and I. It is time for the talking lead Jackwagon of the week, so brace yourself, baby.
It's been a while since we've had the Jackwagon train, so there's probably tons and tons and tons of people that I could go back and throw on the train. But just so happens this weekend, there's going to be a group of people coming to my area of Tennessee, here in Murfreesboro and a town called Shelbyville. It's that same group that was in Charlottesville, that white supremacist rioters or protesters. So they're coming to protest White Lives Matter. I think that's what their gripe is. So I'm throwing these guys on the Jackwagon train. One, because what they stand for is completely un-American, and they're just shit stirrers. They're just here to stir a bunch of shit. So I want to put a word of caution out there to anyone who hears that when these people are going to protest and they're going to be in a certain area, that you don't fall into that trap and go and let them antagonize and start the riots and get tempers flared. If you just ignore their protest, which, I mean, I know in your mind you're like, well, you can't let them get away with that because you don't agree with it, but you're doing exactly what they want. You're falling into their trap. They want people, they expect people to come out. Why do you think they're wearing all this body armor and they've got these shields and, they're wanting to fight? Don't fall into that trap. So you white supremacist or whatever you're calling your nationalist, I mean, I don't know what it is. You guys are definitely on the jackwagon train. Nathan, you got a jackwagon?
Sure do. Kind of in the same vein. November 4th, there's a bunch of protests that are supposedly going to go on by Antifa, or the fascist whatever group. They're nothing more than communists.
All right.
They just, or at least tools for the communists, and they just don't believe it. Also, about as far from American as you could be, and also just trying to go out there and break and destroy property and have someone listen to their message, even though their message is completely illogical and irresponsible.
Right.
So yeah, they're going right on the jackwagon, hopefully under it.
On the train, they're going to be dragged behind it. But
right.
I mean, that's the thing. It goes both ways. You've got the people for White Lives Matter. You got the people for the Black Lives Matter. You've got the anti-fa or whatever, Antifa.
Yeah, it's
goobers. But who is fueling all this? The media is fueling all this. This is what they live for. They live for these groups clashing with one another so they can go and they can get it's like watching a NASCAR race. People watch the NASCAR race to see a crash, to see a wreck. I mean, I know there's a lot more behind it than that, but that's what the media lives for. They want to see people at odds. And I saw a advertisement actually, and there's no telling who's behind it, but they were advertising they're going to pay $500 per person that will come and protest against the protesters. So it's chaos waiting to happen. And that's, again, I don't know who's behind it, but there's been speculation as to what groups are behind the poking and the prodding and the antagonizing. But that's my point, is don't add fuel to the fire. These guys have a right to go. I don't care who it is, if it's the white supremacists, the black supremacists, they have a right to organize and protest. It's their right in a peaceful manner. But if you're going and you're spitting in their face and you're, opposing them publicly, there's other ways to do it that you can oppose and make your views known. But going and starting riots is not one of them. That's not the way to do it. So I'm off.
If you get a chance, Marty, if you got a chance, send them our way this weekend. We'll be in Savannah, Georgia, doing a charity golf tournament for the Army Rangers. I don't think it'll turn out the way that they want, but you're welcome to come down here.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to have anything to do. I'm not going to be anywhere near any of that because I don't want to have anything to do with it.
I bet the better part of them protesters, they don't even know what they're protesting for.
Well, that's the thing, is people are paid to go and they're there for the money. They don't even know why they're there. The way that they worded it, I wish I could find the ad. I don't have it in front of me right now, but they were looking for actors, stage, or not stage, but live performers or something like that to go and.
Maybe we should run down there with our company banner so we can get some airtime on national media.
No, do not do that. That's just, again, that's encouraging these people to do this.
I'm a capitalist. I'm trying to, exploit the opportunity.
Well, that's what the media is doing. That's what
right.
And I don't want to say it's right wing, because it's any media. They're all taking advantage of it. They're taking advantage of people's passions.
That literally is the opposite of what we stand for. They're trying to divide people when we all know that we have more in common than what divides us. So rather than trying to be a positive force in our country, they're trying to divide everyone and create destruction.
Yeah. But this group of people is so small. They are such a small percentage of the population that, again, if you just don't fall into their trap. Let them protest. They'll go away. The people that they're protesting to, I mean, it's on a Saturday. What government official is in office on Saturday?
None.
None, exactly.
To your point about the small percentage, most sociopaths do make up the smallest percentages of a group.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the working man that's protesting because he can't afford to take off work.
I don't know.
No, you're absolutely right.
I'm not a politician. I'm not a what? What'd you say?
I said you're absolutely right, and I can attest to that because that's actually what my wife does to me.
She just ignores you. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the way I feel. You know, when I come on to a great idea and nobody's giving me any feedback on it, I just like, maybe that's not a good idea.
It's like, whatever, honey, just don't spend money.
So those are our Jackwagons. But I don't know if you want to get into this or not, but we were talking a little bit earlier about how you've been trying to build a range out to behind your place, and you've run into some obstacles.
Right. Well, not anymore because we don't have any backstops out there. We had to take them all down. Had to take 6 inches out of my road to get to the back of the property because filling a floodplain, it wasn't a wetland.
But that was kind of one of the obstacles.
Right. That was a huge obstacle.
Because somebody's determination that that's wetlands or whatever were protected.
Yeah, nothing was in a wetland. I know all about wetlands. I work in pipelines. You know, we'll cut 150 foot of right of way from Minneapolis to Miami, and we got to deal with wetlands and floodplain was a new one on me. You know.
So let's give our listeners a little background. So you're trying to put a range in behind is it your shop?
Yeah, behind my shop. Yep.
Yep, behind your shop. Is that a commercial piece of property?
Well, no, it wasn't. It was ag, and see, that's what they wanted to tie it to is commercial, and which that's how it got shut down. You know, we had a couple matches there. You know, probably 30 shooters.
Yeah,
had a good time. You know, there's not a whole lot of places to shoot that kind of distances in this part of the country.
Yeah.
You know, we've got to travel about 5 hours to New York Mills for a good competition. 12, and then Harris, that's another one. That's about 2 hours from here.
Yeah.
Then Red Wing, you know, but our style of shooting, long range shooting, there's still a lot of people it's kind of got a little bit of fear of it, you know, shooting over the berms and stuff like that. But you know, we're not just bringing for the most part of them, well, all of them. You know, they know where their guns are going to hit, or they wouldn't be there.
Right.
You know, they're not going to be blasting out a turret, you know, a full spin off on their turret or something like that. Which you could, but then you know that's a DQ.
Well, it's a DQ, but then also it could be a
catastrophe.
A catastrophe on down the way. But where you're at, it's acceptable to shoot guns, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's legal to shoot in the county. I mean,
and there's nothing behind us.
No, it's in a river bottom.
In a valley.
In a valley, and it's probably about a 30-foot climb out to the next road. You know, and it's a good long bottom in it. You know,
and this is all your property, right?
That's my property.
This is all your property, but you're being told that you cannot build or put a range out there.
Yeah, this lady told me But anyways, this lady told me she dictates who and where they shoot at in the county.
She said that.
I never. Yeah, I got it in writing. It's in a letter. It's in my seat. It's this letter.
Yeah.
And she I don't know. We had to go through commissioner meetings and township meetings, and you know, just and once she hit our range, then I manufacture here, and plus I got a retail, you know, on firearms suppressors and do a little gunsmithing, and she attacked all that. So then we had to get special use permits. I mean, they make cement mixers about a mile down the road. You can hear them banging and clanging on all them, you know. And she's worried about how bright my light was, my outside light. She was worried about how loud my saw was going to be. She's worried about where I'm going to put my scrap iron outside. She thought I had to.
So you just became a project for her, is what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
She's probably running for re-election or something, and
they hire her.
Oh, she's hired.
Yeah,
get her fired, son.
I wish I could
today.
Yeah, I would have. I would protest.
Yeah.
I would get a mob together and go peacefully protest and have her removed, fired.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
and
You know,
say,
they also-
guess what, lady? I dictate whether you work here or not.
Well, that's why people have to get involved in their county government, county and city governments a little bit more. You know, because they can pass ordinances that, you know, you got to go get a permit to put a fence up or something like that around your house, or a permit to repair your roof.
Yeah.
That's none of their business, I don't feel. But whatever.
But it's in town. You know, in anything in town, you have to have permits to do anything.
Yeah.
We live in the country, so
But yeah, range is in the country, but that property we're fixing to buy is in town.
yeah.
And it's hard for me to understand how somebody can tell you how to run your business when they don't have the first penny in it.
No, here's what it is. This is the truth. Bud is the biggest rule breaker ever.
Well, that's what they make.
Breaking the law.
He does not like rules.
Well, I mean, a lot of people don't. Again, you know, it's hands off. Government needs to stay out of a lot of the stuff that we do.
That's why we live where we live, because the state laws and county laws and that kind of stuff. But I would tell you, if you need me to, I'll write you a letter that you can hand off to her that says that you're going to be moving your business down to Florida and taking all your tax revenue with it. And then you're going to sell up the property to like a pig farm or something that's going to just drop property value across the board.
Well, we're a registered food lot. So,
There you go.
yeah, we can have hogs
Chickens.
here.
Chickens.
Find the worst possible outcome for her and send that to her supervisor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they send the sheriffs out here not near as much as what they used to. You know, I'm talking about for my range.
Okay. Yeah.
You know,
What are you doing out there, bud? Come on now.
Okay, he's running table saws and bright lights and loud music.
Exactly.
My scrap metal outside there. You know, we're up here.
100
You know,
watt
in this
bulbs.
Yeah. These, farmers, their tree line is full of scrap iron. You know, old farm equipment and stuff like that. What?
When did that start?
But I mean, there's nowhere to shoot. Well, she says there's 3 other ranges in the county, and they're got one of them down. Hey, but you know, they your bullets don't warm up in 200 yards.
Now, is this a private range, or are you opening this up to the public?
This is a private range.
Okay, well then they got no say so. It's a private range. It's not open to the public.
She allowed that I couldn't have friends over to shoot, which we do. You know.
Yeah. Well, because
But I don't have any berms anymore.
All right, what state are you in?
Minnesota.
In Minnesota. All right, so lead heads. If you guys, and what part of Minnesota?
Southeastern.
Southeastern Minnesota.
It was like Stalingrad, Minnesota.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm sure we've got lead heads out there that are listening to the show that know a good attorney that could put this lady in her place. Get in touch with Bud and Lori at X Steel Targets. Just go to their website. There's a contact us tab there, and if you've got some good attorneys that you could recommend, I think we could get this problem solved for you, Bud.
yeah.
Leadheads Unite, baby.
You know, I haven't been to Minnesota recently, but I'm thinking maybe I'm going to schedule a trip for a manufacturer's demonstration for law enforcement at a local private range.
Yeah.
I might just send over a notification letter to her office informing her that it's going to occur.
All right, guys, so that does it for our Jackwagon train. Gunny, get that train out of here. More coming next week. I've got several more I want to throw on the Jackwagon train. I'm sure we'll probably gain a few between now and then also. But before we get into our continuing coverage of Big 3 East, guys, I've got a big announcement to make. You know, we've been running a contest for a logo that best represents our subscribers, our listeners, the Leadheads. And they were all subscriber submitted. And we've been running a voting, I guess it's a contest. You guys vote on your favorite logo. And we had 3 finalists. Chuck Sanford had submitted the certified Leadhead logo, the one that's got the mushroomed bullet, like it's hit an AR-500 steel target. Then we had Travis Chapman, who submitted the bullet logo. And we took a little liberty with these logos, guys, too. You guys send us the concepts. We sent them to our artist, and we kind of, tweaked them a little bit. But you got rough drafts. So the ones you're seeing are rough drafts. The final and the winner, which we're getting ready to announce, we're going to take that logo. We're going to make a shirt. We're going to make patches. And that's going to be the official Leadhead logo for you guys. And Travis did the bullet that I was telling you about. It said Talking Lead and then Leadhead on the bullet. And it's coming out and it's got a face on it. It's really cool. And then we had Brad Scouten, who designed the Leadhead Brigade, the Talking Leadhead Brigade. It had the old flintlock muskets crossed, and then it said Leadhead Brigade on it. So we appreciate everybody that took part and submitted ideas and logos, and then all you people that voted. Thousands of you Leadheads voted. And the winner by, it wasn't even close. The other two combined, I guess it might have been half of what they got. So they got half of all the votes. And congratulations. Well, actually, I want to do the first runner-up. We'll do it that way. Isn't that how they do competitions like that, guys?
Yeah.
So the first runner-up.
Need the drums.
All right, so first runner-up and these two were close. They were neck and neck. So his first runner-up, is that the one before the one who wins?
No, that'd be second runner-up is the one and then the first runner-up.
Second runner-up, then first runner-up. Is that how I'm doing it? So in third place.
We got to go 1-3 or 3 and then go.
How about this? So in third place, with 25% of the votes, is the number 3 logo, which the way he had them numbered. So number 1 was and this is the way you voted on them. Number 1 was the bullet. Number 2 was the Brigade, and number 3 was the Certified Leadhead. Number 3, coming in with 25% of the vote, is Chuck Sanford with Certified Leadhead, which was a great logo. I love that logo. But he came in number 3, so, and this is all voter. I can't decide. It's not my choice. It's you guys. Coming in second, actually, I should just do the winner, right? Is that how they do it? They skip the second and they do the winner? I'll just do second place. So coming in second, and they had 26%, so there's just 1% between second and third place, was number 1, the number 1 logo, Talking Leadhead Bullet. So that was Travis. So Travis, you came in second place. Congratulations. First place and the winner, and your new official Leadhead logo, Leadheads, is the Leadhead Brigade. And congratulations to Mr. Scouten, Brad Scouten. Again, we took a little liberties with some of the designs. Yours is going to be the T-shirt and the patch that we're going to come out with next with 1776 United. We're going to tweak it a little bit more, but the final product is going to be beautiful, and you guys are going to love it. So once we get those made and get them out, we'll make posts so you guys can go and get your new Talking Lead T-shirts and patches. But Brad, congratulations. You won your design. So you get the T-shirt, you get the patch, you get the original Talking Lead shirt, and you also get a $100 gift card to 1776 United's web store. So you can buy the losers your T-shirt and send it to them. So again, thanks so much. Thanks to 1776 United for helping us with this contest. It's been fun. And like I said, we had a lot of great ideas. And I wouldn't be surprised, second and third place, if at some point in time, maybe yours also made it on a T-shirt. They're that good. So congratulations to everybody. Thanks to everybody for voting, taking part. We got to do this again. We got to come up with another idea, Nate.
So what happened with the fourth entry, the one that I sent you, the picture I drew of you?
I didn't see that one. It never made it.
Yes, you did.
It never made it.
Yes, it had all the bedazzle on the envelope.
No, yours didn't make it. It must have got lost in the mail. I don't know. I didn't see that one. But we did. We actually did have some people with some designs for our Jackwagon train. So I think that might be the next logo that we're going to go for and do a little competition and for you guys to design something for the Jackwagon train, a logo for that. So stay tuned.
We could add to the kitty on that too. We could send them 3/8, 12-inch gong.
Okay, here we're going to start building it now. So it's in the works. So we're going to do a Jackwagon train logo. I got to get with James on this. Get his approval, but we'll do it. So we'll start building the kitty on that one. That'll be a huge one.
Let's get this mother crock.
Right. Or even
I'm sure we got something to add too.
Yeah.
Okay.
we can send something to the fella that just won also, a 12-inch 3/8.
What?
Well, look at you go. Brad, you are racking up, brother. How about we give our consolation prize? How about we give the runners up something?
Yeah, do you have any in the shape of a turkey?
Yeah,
we
we
sure do.
got turkeys.
All right.
That's one of the shoots that we do here is it's our family turkey shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
And the last place person gets a little, it's a mechanical digital turkey that does the chicken dance.
Oh, yeah.
And they have to hang on to it until the next year, and they pass it off to the next loser the next year.
Oh, cool.
That's cool. So everybody's a winner, and I think we're actually going to send the runners up a little something too. But that's very generous of you, bud. Thank you for doing that.
Always eights and 6s or whatever.
So the runners up.
Yep.
They'll be happy with anything they get. So just know, Chuck and Travis, that you guys are going to get a little something for your efforts too. We appreciate you taking part. And the winner, Brad, you just racked up, brother.
Bam! Just like that. That's all there is to it, Dustin. That's all there is to it. A winner! Just like that. We'll be right back, Mark. Don't go away.
So, congratulations. That's how we do here on Talking Lead. So you guys take part in our contests and our giveaways, and you're not going to be disappointed, I promise. Promise you that. All right, so let's get into our Big Three East interviews. But before we do that, I want to thank Bud and Lori and your friend Troy for taking the time and being on. If you guys have questions about AR-500 steel targets that X Steel Targets makes, give them a call, shoot them an email. They're happy to answer any questions, work on a design. If you've got a design in mind, they can make them from scratch, but they've got a wide variety there at their website, xsteeltargets.com. Anything else to add, guys, on that? Look out for the new stuff, too. Yeah, your new products.
Yeah. I don't know if we got a promo code set up with you guys yet, or
We need to.
we need
Well,
to.
we had one,
Yeah.
so let's reactivate it. It's Leadhead is what we normally use.
Right.
Okay.
So you guys, the Leadhead discount code is active at X Steel Targets. You get a nice 10% discount, which their targets are already some of the best, if not the best priced steel targets on the market. So that's nice. Thank you guys for doing that, and I know the Leadheads appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And we want to thank all the other sponsors of Talking Lead. Right On, the official optics of Talking Lead. That's RITON. RightOnUSA.com for your optic needs. They've got binoculars. They've got rifle scopes. They're working on some spotting scopes and maybe a rangefinder in the future. But they've got red dots, a nice micro red dot that they just came out with a 3x magnifier. Crystal clear optics. You guys will not be disappointed. And again, the price point on these things is unbelievable. And use the Leadhead discount code, Leadhead, to get a 20% discount at Right On USA. And oh, by the way, if you're military, law enforcement, you get 40% off. So you get in touch with Brady over there at Right On, and he'll let you know what you guys need to give him to get that 40% off.
We use Right On over at Frontier, and their optics for the price, you will not find better quality optics. They stomp the ever-loving,
Same quality. You'd be paying double for
easily.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've looked through loopholes versus theirs, and theirs is right up next to them, stand toe to toe with them.
They're going somewhere. I'll say that much.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you should check them out. I'm always in the market for good optics.
Okay.
That's all I use now.
We will hook you up, definitely. Modern Spartan Systems. Optimize your firearms with Modern Spartan Systems line of gun cleaning products and lubricants. They've got grease. They've got the gun oil. They've got the carbon destroyer. They've even got a glass cleaner for those optics you get from Right On USA to keep those lenses crystal clear. And they even got products for your vehicles and if you're into industry cutting tools and stuff, machines. But I don't know what kind of machinery you guys use, but they've got products for heavy machinery. I know Nathan's into gun manufacturing, So check them out. The lead sled is over 310,000 miles, and I've been using their TVT engine oil additive product, and it's running like a top, man. I've got no problems with it, knock on wood, so far, since I've been using that. I've probably been using it for over a year now. I even put it in my lawnmower now. I put it in Tia's. She's got like a 87 Vet. I threw it in her 87 Vet, and it runs a lot smoother now since I put it in there. But give them a try, modernspartansystems.com. And then, of course, X Steel Targets, the best, most affordable AR-500 steel targets on the market today. X Steel Targets.
X Steel Targets.
Get in touch with Bud. Enough said. Frontier Tactical, developers and makers and producers of the Warlock multi-caliber system for your AR-15. And oh, by the way, they also make a full line of AR-15s. It's the FT line. Nate, you want to talk about that?
Sure. We actually, we're going through a huge rework of pricing and product lines and what we're carrying for consumers versus what we're carrying for dealers, and a new website launch and some other crazy quiet stuff going on behind the scenes.
And we're working on some stuff together.
We are.
Nate and I.
Yeah. It's going to be freaking amazing.
And is there a leadhead discount code at Frontier Tactical?
There will be. The new website is still a work in process, so I don't want to mess anybody up with a discount code that is non-functional because of the migration.
Gotcha. So that's to come.
Right. Yep. And that's once we're blessed off that everything's good, then it's just a matter of flipping the switch and making it live, and I'll get that out to you and your leadheads.
Very nice. FrontierTactical.com, guys. Glock, the official carry of me, left hand of Talking Lead. I've been rocking the Glock 23, Gen 3 Glock 23, and Gen 4 Glock 27, but I recently have switched over. I got the Gen 5 19, and I'm loving it. Loving that Gen 5 19. Check them out at us.glock.com, and then, of course, all their lifestyle products they have, shirts and hats and coolers and you name it, they've got it. us.glock.com. High Threat Concealment. Check them out at highthreatconcealment.com. They've got your holsters, your mag pouches, your belt rigs, everything you need to comfortably and concealably carry your magazines and guns and what have you. highthreatconcealment.com. All right, guys, so we're going to cut into our Big 3 East interviews now. Enjoy, and don't forget to support those who support the show. All right, it started, so.
Okay, we are here in cool, sunny Daytona Beach, Florida, doing the Talking Lead podcast. I'm sitting here with my trusty man, Lefty. I'm sitting with the fine gentleman from the Mission First Tactical in the Palmetto State Armory. Gentleman next to me is named David Edelman. How are you doing today, sir?
Good. Mission First, David. Welcome in, buddy.
We're happy to be here. We have Adam from Palmetto State, who I'm actually pretty familiar with.
Big Adam.
There he
Boom.
is.
Boom.
Tannerite blowing up in the background.
PSA.
Boom.
You couldn't get a better background noise.
No, that was
what a Wednesday, right?
Right.
Blowing stuff. I'm not even hungover yet.
So.
No, you'll get there. This is
a win.
This is what this town's known for. You'll get there.
That's what tonight's for.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
So we've got a lot to talk about with you guys. I know you both have a lot of new stuff hitting the market. And you've got it here at Big 3 East that we got a little hands-on earlier. Tomorrow we'll get a little more hands-on. Let's start with Adam with Palmetto State Armory. What do you guys bring into the table?
Man, we got to bring the heat.
Bring the heat,
we don't want to reinvent the wheel, but we want to make our wheel a little bit more dependable, and a little bit more affordable. So
a little smoother.
Exactly. You know, a little lighter in the checkbook never hurt anybody.
That
so
always is a good thing.
Obviously, last show we brought some fun stuff. We brought an AR-9, which I affectionately call the big boy BB gun.
The big boy.
And man, it was
good.
fantastic. It's had a great reception. It's been really neat to see it in the pistol caliber carbine competitions across the country. You know, running against $2,500 guns from other companies. That, hey, they're great guns, but unfortunately, everybody doesn't necessarily have that kind of money.
Right.
You know, so while it's fantastic to be able to have that gun, we wanted the blue collar guy to be able to go out there and have just as good a quality material that he knew that if he went down and he lost, it wasn't because of he couldn't afford to play.
Right.
So
I mean, you guys are known for your outstanding prices anyway. I mean, you guys, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you stay in business.
Well, our strategy is we take a loss on everything we sell, but we make it up in volume. So not really sure how that's going to play out in the long run.
Quality over quantity, right?
Exactly. You get it. You get it.
Right.
But so yes, exactly. It's a business strategy I'm pretty sure I'm going to get fired for sooner than later, but until then we're going to run with it.
Don't jinx it.
Exactly. Knock on wood, right? But anyways, so we've got the pistol caliber carbine in 9mm, so we said, why not step it up? Why don't we do an AR-45? And the next thing you know, we're throwing bigger lead downrange, and it's just a bigger boy BB gun, and it has almost as minimal of recoil as the 9, but you're shooting 45 out of a rifle. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Not only is it great for the competition world, but it's a great home defense rifle. You know, you can turn that thing, obviously with the changing in the pistol brace, change the game. You know, I mean, and let's hope that kind of level-headed thinking works as we continue with the 2A movement in this country. And as long as it does, you have this opportunity to have something without having to jump through all these asinine hoops, and you can have a pistol caliber carbine. That's
deterrence is you know, that's what I call them.
Well, that's
They're
much
just
more
set up to deter you
the
from
professional
wanting to buy shit.
I just wanted to say asinine on an iPad or an iPod.
A podcast?
Podcast.
We have some water.
He had the pod right. We can't be
I said
mad.
pod. Yeah, let me have pod.
He got the keyword.
We saw where you're going with that. But so you guys have you've got a 45. You got a pistol caliber carbine at 45 now.
We do.
Are you the first to come out with that?
Let's just say we feel like we're helping lead the way on this.
Okay.
Not only
I'm
that,
trying to think who else has. I don't think anybody else has a.
Not only that, but you can buy the completed rifle right now on our website for $4.99.
What?
Whole thing.
$4.99.
Ready to run.
What mags is it using?
It's using a Glock bag.
It's using so you're using the Glock 45.
So it's a 13-round mag right now. We need them. You know, obviously we need a fun stick from them on that. Hint, Glock.
They're going to do that just for Palmetto.
Exactly. Yeah. But you know
they've
what?
They've not come out with a 45 fun stick ever.
But if the trend continues, they're going to follow what's a trend. And
absolutely.
You're going to demand for it.
Drums.
Exactly. So we've got the 45. We just came out with a 22 conversion kit, which obviously is running completely off the AR-15 platform, AR-15 lower, AR-15 upper, but you need a different bolt, a different barrel, and a different magazine. So you can get the bolt, barrel, the whole setup, an upper, AR-22 upper for $2.99.
Now, is this upper like a complete upper with the rail and everything, or is it just the barrel?
No, rail.
So you're popping your pins and you're putting this one in its place.
And dropping a new bolt carrier group in there, but that comes with it.
Right.
And then you just throw in the magazine.
So you're popping the top, replacing it with your top.
So you're still running, you're going to run on that same reliability. You can get that weight feel, you can get your practice in, but running it on a 22.
Sure. I mean, our listeners, they know the benefits of the
and
22.
Doing that for $2.99?
$2.99. That's crazy.
Exactly. I've had dinners that cost more than that, unfortunately.
Last night was one.
Our tab at Hooligans last night was about four times that. Yeah, so
they'll get you.
Yeah, so but that's a great thing. And then the other thing that we're really proud of is we stepped it up. The complete opposite of the 22 would be like the 6.5 Creedmoor. So we said, hey,
so you let's complete opposite.
Let's step into that long distance category a little bit. And the 6.5 Creedmoor is such a cool round. Obviously developed for the military aspect. Still something they're considering in different platforms. It's just a cool, fun round.
The 6.5 is gaining a lot of momentum here lately.
That and the 6.8 Grindle, which is hint.
We've had a lot of companies here they'll dedicate half their showtime to just the Grendel.
Exactly.
Guys will come in and that'll be their whole thing.
So
the 6.5 Grendel.
So the Creedmoor, the Grindel, those are things that are huge right now. So we came out with the 6.5 Creedmoor, and the thing about it is it's a fun, accurate, long range gun that we put together with an enhanced polished trigger already in the gun. Everything you see that you need to step out and start running it, minus the optic, for under $800.
Jeez. You just heard it, guys. A
Can't beat
6.5 Creedmoor for under $800.
Can't beat it.
So really,
I can't think of you. No, I can't. That's unheard of. So what size is the barrel on this?
The barrel on the standard one is a 20-inch.
Okay, so 20-inch, and then do you have like a shorter one?
Oh, we do have a 16-inch, but you don't really, in my personal opinion.
More,
yeah, and then we're going to have a 24-inch as well.
Go even longer.
Go even longer. You know, reach out and really touch someone.
Yes.
And, you know, the cool thing is we've been able to work with some amazing partners in this industry, like Mission First Tactical, like Glock. And what we're doing is we're finding things that people like about all the different aspects. What do they like? What do they want in a stock? What do they want in a handguard? What do they want in a magazine? Mm-hmm. And we're able to, because we pride ourselves in being a company of the people. We're the blue-collar guys gun store, and we're the blue-collar guys gun manufacturer. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out there and we're going to find you a Mission First stock that works on a 6.5 Creedmoor. We're going to find you a Glock mag that works on a 45 AR. And we're going to continue to do that, and we can't do it without the partners we have, like David over at Mission First, like Corey at Glock, and working with the consumer, and that's how you come in. We're helping get our voice out there, and then seeing the return on it. Those comments that we get, whether it be on social media, whether it be, you know, on your responses to your podcast.
Yeah.
I said podcast.
You did. It wasn't iPod.
Or even, I'm learning.
You get a star for the day.
Or even people that come to us at NRA show, at SHOT Show, and say, "Hey, wish you would do this."
Which, I mean, that's your best time to do it as an NRA, because that's, you know,
that's what we're there for.
That's what it's. That's
but
what
we read those. We read those comments on our social media. We take notes when people say stuff to us. You know, when you say, "Hey, people have been asking for this," that's why we're here, and that's why it's such a pleasure to be a part of it.
It shows in not only the products that you're putting out, you know, that you're listening to. You know, you got your thumb on the pulse, you know, so to speak, of what's hot and what people are wanting, but also the price point that you guys come in. It's unheard of.
So our CEO, you know, kind of my last point, our CEO's name is Jamin McCallum.
Oh, yeah.
He's served 20 years in the military. He's been deployed twice. And his thing was, he was a CPA by trade when he came back from his second deployment, suffering from TBI. And the man literally was looking at a screen every day and said, "I can't do this." Was literally driving to the point of some pretty bad thoughts. Mm-hmm. So he started a firearms company because it was his passion. And, you know, obviously we have to make a margin to be able to survive and to be able to operate a business. But his goal is, where can we find that threshold between making money and putting a firearm in every law-abiding citizen's hands in this country?
Quality firearm.
Something that you can be proud of, not only to go out to a range with, but to know if shit hit the fan,
the common man can pick this up and
and defend his family and defend his rights. And what better to know that as a company that you're enabling somebody to defend.
And
their
not
rights.
only that, but, you know, the hunters that are out there, make it affordable for them. You make it affordable for the competition shooters. So, you know, competition shooting is expensive as hell.
It really is.
You know, so going out and, you got to buy the holsters, you got to buy the belts, you got to buy the guns, the magazines, and, you know, it adds up.
I think that's one of the reasons it's
so you
not
make it
growing.
affordable for people to get into the sport.
It's not growing as fast as some people want it to. They're saying, "Why? It's so much fun." Because let's be frank,
expensive.
the plumber that's making $40,000 a year and supporting a family of 3, you can't afford to do it.
It's not possible.
Exactly.
It's a money pit, right?
So we want to be able to help them do that.
Yeah, that's where PSA comes into play.
That's
baby.
our mission statement, man.
Yeah.
To put a firearm.
Doing God's work, baby.
Hey, we're doing Uncle Sam's work on the outside from the old school day when we wrote some stuff down on a piece of paper, and, you know, a lot of people are going away from it, but that piece of paper still stands very, very important to us.
Very cool. Very cool. So you got a couple of plugs there, David.
I did, man.
From Adam.
Don't mess it up on the inverse side, David.
So Mission First Tactical, I've heard of you guys. I've seen a lot of your products. You've been in some of the big box stores too, your products. So I know all of our listeners have heard of Mission First Tactical, and of course the butt stock is the one thing that that really stands out. It's kind of your trademark, I guess.
That is. So we're manufacturing everything in the United States.
There you go. Manufacturing in the United States.
Yes, sir.
Not assembled.
Not assembled. Yeah. Not packaged. Not shipped. Manufactured from start to finish. A lot like PSA and their quality products. We take a lot of pride.
PSA tag.
Shameless plug. There
Hashtag PSA. Then where are you guys out of?
We're in Pennsylvania, just north of Philadelphia.
Okay. And how long have you been in business? How long has Mission First been around?
7 years, but we've been doing this for a whole lot longer. So a lot of people think that we came out of nowhere and just kind of exploded on the scene, and that was not that. It wasn't
not
an accident.
Case, yeah.
It wasn't a happy accident. It was planned. we felt that there was a big opportunity out there, and that for quality AR accessories. You know, there's one big player out there. Everybody knows who they are.
Mm-hmm.
They don't necessarily
starts with a mag, ends with a pull.
I think those might be the guys.
Is that who you're
I don't think David wanted you to give that a plug. Just
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
throw that
yeah.
out there.
Well, I mean, they're out there. It's just go ahead and say it. You
Call
know?
it for what it is.
They are the
Call it what it
800-pound
is.
gorilla. Yep.
Yeah, that shows smarts on your part. You recognize your competition. You know it's out there, but at the same time, there's enough room, you know, for a company like yourself to come in too and do just fine.
And they make great quality U.S. manufactured product too.
Sure.
And they are everywhere, so we just wanted to
But
offer.
people like options.
That's it. There's an
Yeah.
alternative out there for another great U.S. quality made product. And a lot of guys doing rifle builds don't want the same rifle and every you know, to look the same and they're
Right.
safe. So we're giving them that option. And we are known for our minimalist butt stock by far, but everybody needs
The minimal. I couldn't think of what it's the minimalist butt stock. Yeah. Love that thing. I think that's what I got right there. Isn't
Yes,
it?
sir, that is.
Yep. So yeah, I've got that rocking on my PCC over there.
Right to my right.
Pistol caliber carbine, 9mm.
Well, we make everything for the AR. So handguards, stocks, grips, rails, mags.
You do it all.
We do it all. Everything.
Okay. I wasn't aware that you did all that. I knew that you were doing the pistol grips and the butt stocks. So tell us about some of the other products there.
So we got some new products.
handguards.
We're releasing at Big 3. Free float handguard in both key mod and M-lock. Nice thing about our free floats, it utilizes a split bushing for a standard barrel nut. So if you're going to convert your rifle over, no need to go take the barrel off and put a custom barrel nut in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a swing arm system that locks in place with 3 bolts. And what you do is you just put the bushing on the barrel nut, slide it in place.
Mm-hmm.
There's an anti-rotation tab on the inside on the split bushing.
Okay,
you don't
on the
have-
inside.
You don't have to worry about receiver specs.
Right.
A lot of problems with that in the beginning. So it's a steel long swing arm that swings in place, locks into the split bushing, and then there's 3 Torx head screws that you would tighten down.
Gotcha.
And that's what holds it in place. Nice thing about that, if you have a catastrophic failure, you pop a gas tube, all you got to do is pop 3 screws, flip that swing arm out of the way, slide it off, and you're in there doing
You're ready to go.
There's no screwing one
It's
side a
going to
little
line
bit.
up the same way every time.
And what's the weight on those?
They're light.
They're light.
They are light,
That's
sir.
what I wanted to hear.
They
Okay.
are light, and they're a little bigger on the diameter, so they don't heat up quite as fast. But the reason we did that is that you can insert up to a 2-inch suppressor into that handguard.
That's big.
That's what I've been missing is being able to, get that counter sync on some of my, like you said, suppressors and some of my flash hiders and whatnot. So
Great. Well, we got to get you on then.
yes, we do. I've got another build that I'm wanting to do. So
All right, great. Well, we do them in.
Don't we all? Don't we all have another build we
another
want to do?
build I want to do.
Jesus.
Yeah.
PSA would be out of business if you never had another
Right.
build you wanted to do.
Well, we're doing them in key mod and M-lock, and we're doing them in 15, 13.5, 10, and 7-inch.
Okay. Are you doing different colors?
A lot of options.
Black and tan right now.
Black and tan.
That's it.
The way I like my drinks.
We're also debuting a new polymer M-lock drop-in handguard, $34.99, so really reasonable. Pops in just like the original handguard, so super easy to install. Throw a QD in there for a right-hand shooter. M-lock on all 4 sides. Again, just a different footprint. Listening to our OEM partners, trying to get something that looks different than what's already out there in a big way. Really feels really good. Really excited about it. Just
Did you have that here?
We do. Hot
Okay.
off the press.
I got to check that one out. I haven't seen that one yet. Should go check it out.
Come by and shoot it.
I'm going to. I'm going to.
Please.
Absolutely.
And
So, Mission First, your website?
Yep, missionfirsttactical.com.
MissionFirstTactical.com, and you guys can, as we're talking about these products, go ahead and pull up their website and look at this stuff as we're talking about it. You getting ready to talk about something else new you got?
I got one last thing.
No, keep
Kinda
them coming, man. Keep them coming. The hits keep coming.
You're fine.
Kind of out of left field, but we got into Kydex holsters. So we brought our manufacturing prowess into the Kydex holster market to offer a high-quality, consistent quality product at a reasonable price that we can deliver in volume. Going back to you mentioned we're nationally in big box chains.
Right.
That was the driver behind it. There's not a lot of guys out there.
So I assume that you're going to be doing the different brands, the holsters for different brands, or is you
we got a
specific brand right now?
We got top 30 pistols in the marketplace covered.
Okay.
We're going to expand it a little bit more. We're doing it outside the waistband, and then we're working. I got prototypes of inside the waistbands and appendix carries here with me.
So tell me, because, there's 18,000 holster companies out there. What sets you guys apart? with your Kydex?
Sure. So like I said, super saturated. We brought our manufacturing prowess, so we have a reasonable price point. Everything, again, is manufactured in the United States. And what really sets us apart from a lot of the other guys out there doing it is our relationships, like our relationship with Palmetto. I can call up, say, Corey at Glock and say, hey, look, this is what we're doing. I can get pistol technical data packets.
Get the exact specs and everything.
Exact specs, and my engineers can then build our tooling off of. So we're not smushing plastic over.
No guesswork.
No guesswork.
What kind of retentions are you using for your holsters?
So the retention's designed in. It's a audible click. We didn't put a retention screw in there on the OWB because we got it right, and we can consistently get it right.
Well, no, for your clips for hooks.
Oh, so right now they ship with 1 3/4 inch belt loops on the OWB, and then on the IWB it's going to be a 1.5 inch clip.
Okay, so they're going to be the thread that you put your belt through, or are they going to be the hooks?
The hook. So the IWB will be the hook.
Okay.
And then the OWB, it's the thread. But we did do there's kind of a standard out there now for where you put the pop rivets. So that you can use other people's belt attachments. So if you prefer the clips, right now we don't make them. We do have plans on making them, but you could go on any of the websites.
Put whatever you want on.
And buy it for $9.99 and pop our belt loops
like
off and pop your clips on.
Ulti clip or something if you want to throw an Ulti clip on.
Yes,
there.
sir, you definitely could do that.
What?
Nice plug for Ulti clip. I like it.
Thanks.
They're good people.
Smooth. They are good. I want to push and promote them. They're not sponsors or anything. Yeah. That'd be good. Yeah, Doug and Stacy. Great people. I've not met the owner yet.
Him and his wife are fantastic as well. They're super kind people. They were next to us at the NRA Carry Guard show.
Cool.
And they were fantastic people. Just genuinely salt of the earth. I think they're missionaries in the Philippines, and a large percentage of their profit.
They still are.
Yeah,
that's where they live.
I'm saying, but a large percentage of their profit actually goes to helping people in the Philippines.
Yeah, I think the majority of it.
Yeah, I bought a couple of them just because I don't even have anything to put them on right now. It's like the guy, you're walking into Walmart and he's like ringing the bell. I was like,
I'll take them.
I donated to the last 4 guys. He's looking at his, like, sure you did, buddy. So you got to drop $5 in. It's kind of like that. Wonderful people.
I've got a few extra ones, so you lead heads, stay tuned. I'm going to be giving those away randomly to random lead heads. So you never know when I'm going to do that. So stay on your toes. So, you guys, anything else you want to talk about?
No, I'm just excited to be here. I know you and I talked a little last night about some opportunities to work together a little more closely. So excited about that.
So you guys stay tuned. We could be making a big announcement.
Yeah, so excited about that. Excited to be at Big 3. Excited to be with great partners like Mission First and all these people out here. And just excited to see what this
living our lives, no matter what's going on out in our country right now. I mean, you guys exercise your rights. Don't live in fear.
Absolutely not.
Go out and enjoy your Second Amendment rights. Go to the range. Go hunting.
Yeah.
Defend yourselves. Do it proudly.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself.
But don't do it stupidly.
Thanks. You were doing so good.
Don't be stupid.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lefty. Ladies and gentlemen.
Had me motivated. I was like, I was getting roused.
And then, all the wind down of the same.
Yeah, right. Well, I edit, so. I'll have some kind of motivational music behind that, building up to
nice. Call to arms.
Right.
Well, no.
So did you give Palmetto's website and everything?
Obviously, PalmettoStateArmory.com. Our Facebook is Palmetto State Armory, and then our Instagram is The Real Palmetto State Armory.
The Real
one.
Faux real.
All the reals.
I'm sad you didn't bring Paul.
Paul is scared.
Paul's my buddy, man.
Paul is our head of R&D, and he is legitimately a mad scientist.
Paul sent me a message, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I was planning on doing this and doing that, coming out, but they won't let me come." And he goes, "Oh darn it, I can't do the show."
I remember the first time I did the show with Paul in the room, he let me talk for 45 minutes and then whispered in my ear, "Everything you're saying is wrong."
Right.
After doing the show for 45 minutes. So
and I had to go back and edit
everything that we said.
I actually verbally, I went in, you said something wrong, and I went in, I said, I think you said like 223 or something like that. And I was like, 762. And you could clearly tell that I'd cut that in over your voice.
Fantastic. Let's be honest, I'm not here for my brain power, people.
Yeah. He's here for his prettiness. He's pretty.
He is pretty.
I didn't even know I was here for that. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Well, thank you again for having us.
All right, guys. Yeah, let's go back to the range. I want to try out some of this new things you guys are telling me about. Did you have the 6.5 here?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, I didn't shoot that. What was that? I was shooting the 3.0.
No, you're shooting. That was a 6.5.
Was that the 6.5?
Yeah, that
okay.
was a 6.5. You were shooting it pretty well. I got some cool video of you shooting it too.
Okay.
Until you almost broke it. Shocker. It's literally
famous for breaking shit. So if you've got something you want, you make sure that it's
I gave him an AK. And then, did you just break the extractor on it? What did you break on it?
I broke
the safety toggle.
The handguard latch.
Yeah, the handguard latch. Snap the handguard latch. We've had any gun when you sell it in volume, you're going to get back. We've had 30 or 40 of them back. Little things, whether it's, safety latch broke or whatever. They were like, how does this even happen? I was like, well, it's him.
Give it a left.
Yeah. I was like, I call him up. I'm like, I broke your AK. He's like, bullshit.
I was like, you can't break it. He's like, no, I broke it.
No, I broke it. Send pictures of it. He's like,
I did.
Send it back.
Yeah. Yeah. Shocker.
Shocker.
Well, cool. I'm going to go shoot some guns.
All right. Sounds good, guys.
Let's get to it.
We'll be back with more interviews.
Absolutely.
At the Big 3 East here in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Nice, guys.
All right, lead heads, that does it for another episode of the Talking Lead podcast. Thanks again for tuning in. Make sure you guys leave us some feedback, some ratings, some reviews on those podcasting systems that you're listening to us at. We greatly appreciate that. And make sure you're going and supporting those companies that help support and sponsor the Talking Lead show. RightOnusa.com, that's RITON, the official optics of Talking Lead. Modern Spartan Systems, ModernSpartanSystems.com. X Steel Targets, xsteeltargets.com. Frontier Tactical, frontiertactical.com. Glock, us.glock.com. And High Threat Concealment, highthreatconcealment.com. And we want to give a big thanks to our SHOT Show sponsors of the Lead Quarters, Kel-Tec. Check them out at keltecweapons.com. And we're going to have more coming from those guys before SHOT Show. Asymmetric Technologies. They are making it possible for us to attend the 2018 SHOT Show again this year. So big thanks to Brian Borkowski and the gang over at Asymmetric Technologies, asymmetrictechnologies.com. And one more big congratulations to Brad Scouten, the winner of the Leadhead logo design contest. Congratulations, Brad. We appreciate the logo design idea. Make sure you get in touch with me, and we're going to hook you up with cool prizes. And a big thanks to everyone who participated. Chuck Sanford, Travis Chapman, thank you for your designs. And like I said, don't be surprised to see those down the road on a Talking Lead t-shirt as well. Until next episode, Leadheads, as always, keep your loved ones close and keep those firearms closer.